So I kind of just made up this recipe the other day and I wanted to share it with you. I started off by making this yummy Alfredo sauce. I soaked my cashews, about half a cup of cashews, for 15 minutes. While that was hanging out, I cut up my buttercup squash and then I cut it up even more smaller so that I could peel it better because it's super hard of a rind. Then I tossed it in some oil and salt and pepper and roasted it for about 40 minutes on 450. And I did a combo of pasta. I'm not sure why I chose this, but it was just kind of a fun invention night. Then once my cashews were ready, I drained them with a tablespoon of nooch, a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of ginger, garlic, and chili mixture, a half a teaspoon of salt, a cup of coconut oil and salt and pepper. And I actually did leftover white kidney beans that I had in there, about half a cup or so, to thicken up the sauce, and it was so yummy. So my pasta was done. I just put some oil on it to hang out until everything was ready, all my sauces. So I blended all that stuff up. I just showed you in the blender. And then it got really thick because of the beans and the nuts. It was so yummy. Like, this could be a good sauce on its own with just pasta without the squash, or you could just do it on top of squash, like almost like a Alfredo squash. It was so delicious. So once it was tender, when I passed the fork through it, I put it in a processor, and I also put the other cup of or half a can of the coconut milk that was left over in it to make it this consistency, which was perfect. And then I put both sauces in the pan that I had my pasta in, and I just mixed it all together with the pasta, and the color and the flavors were just so rich and yummy. One of my sons didn't like it as much because it was like really, really thick, but he put some vegan shreds on top and he was like, oh, that tastes much better. It was kind of like a mac and cheese, but I kind of just had an invention night and I just wanted to share it with you guys because I actually really loved it. So yeah, I just topped it with some fresh herbs and it was good to go.